I'm excited, so excited for tonight. Awesome. I know some of the speakers are still popping on too. Oh, you've got it going in both places, don't you? All right, perfect. All right, you all ready? Thumbs up. All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody. It is Monday night, the 13th of February. And I just want to, before we get started here, I want to tell you I love you. I want to tell you happy Valentine's Day and just give so much thanks and gratitude and blessings upon you and all the things for this year, for every day, for every moment. And just know that literally every morning when I wake up, I thank God for all of you and I pray for you and all the things. And before I go to bed, I do the same. And I think about you all throughout the day. And you are just so close to my and our hearts. And you just mean the world to us. So I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. And let's just cherish and bring the love on to the world and show the world what the One Person Big Difference family's got. Deal? Dealio, hearts. All right. So everybody in your chat, which is at the very bottom there, you can click on that, become very active in that tonight. The first thing that I want to do outside of send our love to all of you is to especially welcome all of the new consultants that we have had come in within the past week. Welcome. Please put your name into the chat. We want to welcome you. Just wave out there and just know we can't wait to get to help you and get to know you and just build, and love. So we have been having some incredible enhancements come at us lately. Yes or yes? Who is excited for everything that is coming? Throw a number 1 in the chat to hear how excited these things that are coming. It's just like blowing my mind still. It's absolutely crazy. So what we thought, well, I had a plan for today, but sometimes when things come to us, we know that we have to listen. So I had this moment of boom, we've got to do this today. And we've had a lot of discussion on business and the comp and all these different strategy things. Is anybody's brain like going, whoa, it's crazy. It's so exciting. But we're going to get back to tonight because we want all of you to be at Onyx and Emerald and Sapphire and Diamond and Guardians of the Galaxy. Does anybody want to be Guardian of the Galaxy or Diamond or any of that? Yes, it's going to make such a massive impact for everybody. But while we do that, what happens? We bless so many people, right? It's like the stories upon the stories. I tell people that are just coming into our business, I'm like, if we could only download our brain into yours, you would be just like, everybody, every single person needs to know the business, the relationships, the people, the whole shebang. So tonight, we want to bring to you a lot of people's different testimonies that are going on to keep to heart, to remember, OMG, goodness gracious, how blessed are we by what we've got our hands on? Because when you have that moment of that, it's hard to sleep, right? We all say Protandim will help you sleep at night, but LifeVantage will keep you awake. So it's really, really exciting. We're going to bring on some different guests here tonight and put your information or your testimony and whatnot into the chat as well. But I'm going to first bring it over to Miss Angela Wasmond. And Angela, if you can unmute yourself, she just had a home meeting, her first home meeting this past week. Let's give her a round of applause for that. And it was so impactful, so beautiful, and filled with testimonies, things that I hadn't even heard yet from her and some of her loved ones. That is the power of doing this. So Angela, can you share with us for a minute or two, please, of a few things that's going on with you and yours?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. I started in November, and since then there's been quite a few different things that have happened, whether with animals, my family, friends, things like that. With myself, I do NRF2, fat burn, collagen, and some of the things that I've noticed was I had some skin issues probably for the last 8-9 years that it didn't matter what I took. I have a girlfriend who's a dermatologist, and we tried a ton of things till I started this, and that has cleared up. It's almost like rosacea, but then I'd almost break out. It was very strange. So that has helped a ton. And then some of the other things that I noticed was with myself, just from doing hair for the past 25 years, the aches and pains that go along with being a hairdresser. whether it was in my wrists, my fingers, a little bit of my shoulders, but more my hands and my wrists. I was really starting to feel that. Another big thing that happened in our house was our little puppy. She's a little mini Aussie Doodle, and her name is Harley. And before she was a year old, she had 2 hips and a knee done. It was almost like she hadn't finished growing. And so they had taken out, she didn't have a ball and socket. She doesn't have a ball and socket anymore in her hips. And so she didn't really run the same. She never really jumped. I kind of figured this was kind of how she was going to be, just slow. Would hop kind of like a rabbit. That's kind of how she ran. And so then I started her on the pet tandem when I started, and about 2 weeks in, and I didn't tell my husband I started her on it. He said to me, hey, have you noticed Harley? And I said, yeah, I have. I just wanted you to notice. Right. And so, yeah, she's like tearing around like a whole new puppy. She's trying to jump up on you. She's doing figure 8s in the backyard through the snow. It's been fantastic for her. So yeah, she's kind of got she's 3 now. So yeah, she's doing fantastic with that. My dad, he started like mid-November, beginning of November, mid-November. He has MS, and he's diabetic. And over the past few years, he would get like blood, like they be like blister bruises. So I don't know any of you know that, or any of you have anybody that has diabetes. Their skin gets real thin, and when they bump or knock their hand or finger or something on anything, it breaks open. It takes weeks to heal, and it would, scab over a little bit, then it would break open. He started taking the collagen and the NRF2, and about 3 weeks in, he had bumped his finger down in a shop, and kind of didn't really notice it till the next day. He was sitting there, and he looked down and he realized that it never broke open. So it had already, in 3 weeks, was already healing from the inside out. That was when he knew that it's doing good, but he then really knew once he actually saw it, right? Which is that's affirmation, when we actually see it from the outside, right? So that's been huge for him. He's also goes down to Florida in the wintertime. And I asked him just a couple of weeks ago how he was doing. And he said with his MS, he's gotten his balance has been off. He shuffles quite a bit. And he said to me that his walking he can walk longer now. So that is huge for me. That was my biggest reason for getting him on this. It's to help with his MS. So that's been fantastic. Okay. So I got lots of stories. I'll go fast here. My husband, it would probably be IBS for him. He started his on December 6th. He can't remember a day that he hasn't had, his diarrhea all day long, every day, all day long through the night. When he took this on day 1, he came home and he said, well, I didn't have any today. And I said, okay, well, that's fantastic, right? So we are about 50, whatever December 6th is, almost 2 months. Well, we're over 2 months now, and he has had zero diarrhea. So for him, that he's just on NRF2, that took care of his IBS like immediately. So that's been fantastic, huge, because that's a horrible way to live. Another huge story, my sister, by the end of December, she was supposed to have carpal tunnel surgery. Her carpal tunnel got so bad, she was in a brace, couldn't make a fist. It would wake her up in the middle of the night, which was just horrible. She started NRF2 and FAPR in mid-November, added college in the first part of December, and I'm happy to report she doesn't have to have carpal tunnel surgery. She was unable to have it at the end of December due to some health issues, and I said, okay, well, like we say, we make no claims to treat, cure, mitigate, right? But I said, I think this is, collagen is going to help you. And sure enough, yeah, she can make a fist. She's not getting woken up in the middle of the night. It's fantastic. And then friends, inflammation has been huge for them. I've got a girlfriend who her daughter's taking it for anxiety, and that has been awesome. So tons of people, I got a ton of stories. It's been fantastic.
They just keep rolling when we were together. It was so beautiful. Yeah. And it was great validation too of her friends being there who've been through some really hard times. And they said they don't think but also their teenage daughter would have been able to get through the times that they're having to go through right now without this. So you are making a difference, Angela. We love you. And thank you for coming on and downloading some of those stories for all of us. This is emotional, right? This is powerful. This is emotional. So I'm going to pass that real quick over to Chad and Stephanie Hansen, who we love and adore here from Sioux Falls. I'm making these introductions quick, you guys. I'm sorry to not edify you a ton, but I just want to get through all the good stuff of this tonight, but please come on and unmute yourself. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, everybody. I just have a lot of stories, but I just was going to share one tonight, and it's about my son-in-law, which is really exciting. He's 30, super skeptical about even starting NRF2, but he thought he better listen, to his favorite mother-in-law. So he did, and he started it, and he said, well, I'll start this. Hopefully it might help my cholesterol. And that's kind of what he said to me. And so he is a young 30-year-old, healthy, eats great, exercises all the time, thin, just to set the stage, to let you know that. And but his cholesterol was 215. So I think he has some family history of higher cholesterol. And anyway, so it had been at 215. And then for a new job or something, he had to have it checked again about 4 or 5 months later. And he was 158. And so that is huge. And that is strictly from NRF2. And I mean, when he told me that, I could just cry. That is so emotional to just see a lab value. And I mean, that's my son-in-law. I want him to be healthy for my new grandbaby and everything. So to hear that was really huge. So that's my story tonight.
It's huge. It's huge. Again, it's emotional. This is their grandbaby's father. It's all those important things. And Stephanie and Chad are both medical professionals, and the science, all of the validation was very important for them. And now getting this and sharing this with people, I know is definitely a gift. So thank you guys. Love you so much. Okay, we're going to pop it over to the booms. Carrie and Jeff. I think Jeff is for sure talking. I'm not sure if Carrie is, but please unmute. And thank you guys for being here so much. Watch them on social media. They are fun and amazing.
I'm always talking, Michelle. Hey, and my testimony tonight is I've been able to kind of experiment with different things that come out. And of course, when the new product come out with the reset, so we have AM and PM. And so Carrie right away was like, let's try this. And to Michelle's point, LifeVantage keeps you up at night. And so I've always had an issue with sleeping. And so the AM PM was of course something that I ultimately wanted to try. The AM side of it, maybe I just wake up so refreshed from the PM. I haven't necessarily seen the AM that made me go, oh my God, I got to have it. I've been pretty refreshed when I wake up, but the PM side of it, if you take that, maybe 2 hours before you plan on going to bed, you'll get sleepy and relaxed and you'll sleep all the way through the night. It's been amazing for me. We were on it for a short time. One night I missed it. I woke up after like 3 hours, could not go back to sleep. So I got back on it, and now it's like, if you got sleeping issues, you have to take the PM and try it out. You'll love it.
Amazing. Carrie, were you going to say anything?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jeff and Carrie. So Jeff also, if you've seen in the past, he has huge testimony as well through COVID and through exercise and through so many of that, so much so many of us, I think all of us that were on the Zoom cried. So it's really, really powerful. So thank you for that AM PM. I am loving it as well. I am not moving at night. It's just like the coolest, interesting thing. So remember, right amounts at the right time, right? So right nutrients at the right time and the right amounts. So beautiful, beautiful. Thank you guys so much. We're going to pass it over now to Dan. Dan Desmond, where are you?
Hey.
There he is. There's Dan.
All right.
Tell us all about it, Dan.
All right. Where do I start? You know what? I'll just start like maybe a few months after joining forces with everybody. Like the Icy Bright came out, and I had started on Tri-Synergizer, which is really I was just looking for more biohacking, more clean cells and all the fun stuff. And then I started to have like all this night vision stuff going on. I was driving and I was like, maybe it's just, those new like lights in the cars that are all bright. And then I'm in my like bedroom with my then girlfriend, now wife, like, and she goes, you know, that no, those lights are not that bright. And it's always my left eye. My left eye, I thought, oh man, like I'm, 47 at the time. And anyhow, so I'm like, all right, I'll just give it a go. Cause I don't know, like, and this is my favorite ever. It's like, it was blinding. Like it literally hurt my eyes on my left eye. It was like this blind spot. And within 2 months, like 85% gone, 3 months, like 95%. And now like, it's crazy. I thought I was going to have like surgery or something. So I'm a fan of all the products, but that one like blows me away, like actually blows me. And it's like 30 something bucks. It's crazy.
And that's Icy Bright.
That's Icy Bright. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Icy Bright is so amazing. And in our customer page, you guys, we have a whole thing in regards to Icy Bright that is mind blowing as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
I can go on and on, but Axio, I mean, Shawn, like, you just like, it's such an easy one to share, and everybody likes feeling really energized, including myself. And yet at the same time, for somebody with ADHD, actually with all that energy, sometimes it's like, it's a little bit much, and you feel like you're popping out. And it actually has helped me, instead of like energized, it's actually really helped me center in, focus, and be more clear and focused. And that is, and I know the NRF2 and all of it work together, but the actual, like, you feel it, boom, it's right there, it's right now, it's instant. And like, you don't have to wait 5 months. Am I feeling something? Like, it's right away. And it's just so easy to share.
Yes, I agree. Yes, and it tastes great, and we can make popsicles and do lots of different things with it. I'm having a daily wellness right now, you guys, with some red raspberry. It's magic. The immune support do it. It's the most delicious thing ever. Thank you, Dan Desmond, so much. Love you to pieces. Sheila Powell, I'm going to pass it over to you, sister. You can unmute. Sheila Powell. If she's not there, we'll go to Laura from Colorado. Laura Nowicki.
Hello.
Hi, Laura.
Yes, I have a list too of benefits for all the products, but I am going to tell a recent story. In October, I bought myself a wellness package at a local wellness center, and they have a variety of different services: massage therapy, infrared sauna, acupuncture, all different things. And so with the monthly package, you get 3 services. So I got a massage, and I was talking to the massage therapist, and we had a great conversation. This might be a little too much information, but I have something called lipoma, and I have a number of them on my body, and they were very evident. You could visually see them. And I was just in on Friday, so 5 massages later, and I had asked the massage therapist about them when I started in October, like, do you think this will help? Can you do anything for him? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, 5 months later, I said, have you noticed any difference? And I think she might have been more excited than I was. She was like, oh my gosh, I meant to say something to you. She's like, they are not as obvious. She's like, they are not protruding from your skin. Your skin is so much softer. She said, she just kept going on and on. Then she said, well, what do you think it is? And I said, well, I know it's the collagen because I started that back in June, but I do believe that adding the infrared sauna plus the collagen and probably the massage helps too, but it has been dramatic since having those 2 together. And so she was so excited because they do have the collagen in the clinic. And she's like, I'm going to tell everyone I see about your experience, because she's like, I noticed it last month, but I absolutely noticed it today.
Oh, Laura, that's huge.
It is huge because they bothered me so much. I mean, I don't wear shorts. I don't wear short skirts. I because it was just so bad, but it's not as bad anymore. And so I don't know about in New Orleans, but I'll be wearing shorts at some point.
I hope you have some pictures.
Yeah, and I didn't take one in June, but I did take one in October before. And so yes, I will share those. And even my
Amazing.
spider veins have
Yes.
diminished as well.
Spider veins diminishing, varicose veins diminishing, right? You guys, anybody else seeing that? Thank you so much, Laura. We've been talking to people lately on a lot of different Zooms, and we're like, it's layering, right? All these layering effects of all these different products is like, get better. And then another thing gets better, and another thing gets better. It's so fascinating. Huge, huge, huge. Thank you. Thank you so much. Fonda, if you can unmute and share this incredible woman. I know she's got a lot of incredible stuff coming on. She's trying to unmute there. I can see her with her big smile.
I am the world's worst person when it comes to technology. I'm out.
Nope. You're
sorry.
amazing. You're great.
I would say that my most exciting news ever is my dad turned 81 in December, and 10 years ago he had a massive heart attack, and then after that he's had 2 strokes, and it has just been a battle. I mean, just honestly a battle. And they go to Zapata in the wintertime, and before he went to Zapata, he had to go obviously get his checkup, get his physical, all of those fun things to make it through the winter. And his blood pressure was super high, even though he was on numerous meds. And the doctor told him he has a blood pressure of a teenager. So that is, that's the most exciting news that I have personally. With my dad. I always tell people, if you love the people, and the people you reach out to, oh boy, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
The most is people that you love. And so when you reach out to those people and then those people have amazing results, it makes it easier to share with the other people. My son is another one. I did the whole trial run, took him off of his Axio to see how life would be without it. And we fell apart. And we went back on Axio, and it is night and day difference. They wanted to put him on ADD medicine in 3rd and 4th grade. And I know that some people need it, and that's okay, but I was not willing to do that for him. And he's a totally different kid. So those are just a couple of fun ones. I could share more, but I know other people want to share too. So those are my highlights of being a mom and a daughter to knowing that the people I love the most can function better and be healthier.
Amen, Sister. Fonda could talk probably for the next months with stories. She's got unbelievable stories. So beautiful. Amen, sister. Our people, when we can get them healthy, here comes the emotions again. Don and Mia Krishnaswamy. Mr. Don, I know you've got a great story.
Well, yes, I'm a little back from my mic, so if you can't hear me, let me know. Otherwise, perfect. Okay. Probably towards the beginning of the pandemic, I don't know exactly when it started, but I developed what ended up being a rather alarming, I don't know if you call it a rash or some kind of really major irritation on my lower right leg. And I felt like I had to scratch it. I had to try to resist scratching it. It was chafed, it was flaking, it was gross, it was bloody, and just constantly I wanted to reach down there and scratch it. And it was kind of alarming. I didn't know what it was. And there's, my dad's side of the family has a history of diabetes. I didn't know if maybe, so I didn't know what was going on. And when we did the Cabo incentive trip back in September 2021, afterwards we went to this massage healer in Cabo, and he asked me, he had no reason to ask me if I play an electronic keyboard because he knows I'm an acoustic player on violin and viola, but he asked me, and yeah, I do, he nailed it because I sit in front of an electronic keyboard 6 days a week teaching violin and viola lessons, and my right foot is right by the metal pedals on that keyboard. He asked me if it was grounded. I said I didn't know. When I got back home, I checked, and indeed it wasn't grounded. It now has a grounding mat on it, but that was sending electromagnetic frequencies into this leg over the course of 2 years. And he told me it would start to disappear if I did a certain kind of massaging, which I wasn't good with. So basically it lingered, and it was, right up until liquid collagen came out in June of last year. It was just alarming. And I remember we were at a pool in one of these resorts in Cabo with Marisa. Marisa noticed this thing. She's like, "What is that?" And she was concerned. So I got on the collagen, of course, right when it came out, and I haven't missed a day. And I never really thought of it in terms of let's see what it does for that leg at all. I was just, taking the liquid collagen. And then I realized after a few months that I was not reaching down to scratch that thing. And I looked at it because I really wasn't looking at it much, and I was kind of blown away. Here's a picture. Some of you may have seen this on Vitality Living. This is June of last year, and then this January. I mean, that's crazy. The difference, so it was basically about 2 years that it was like this on the left. And then with less than 6 months, because this picture I just took in January, but it was like this before this. So less than 6 months on the liquid collagen. And it's like that. And I never, ever even have any thought about reaching down to scratch that thing. You can see how cleared up it is. And the only thing I have done differently in this whole time is take liquid collagen. So yeah, so I mean, I'm blown away by that, really. When I took that picture and then compared them, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that is huge. And to know that had been there, you guys, for a couple of years, right? It wasn't just for a short period of time, a couple of years. And then suddenly adding in our incredible activated collagen is huge. Thank you so much, so much. And your incredible dearest friend, Jack. Jack, are you there? Hi, Jack. You can unmute. That'd be amazing. Thank you,
Don and Mia warned me about this. Yeah, I guess my story starts about 3.5 years ago. I was diagnosed with cancer. I'd never had any health issues all my life, and all of a sudden at 65, they diagnosed me with cancer. Just a little over 3 years ago, I was operated on, had the surgery, and it appeared to be very successful. But I noticed after the surgery, energy levels were just not right. Now, I've always been a very active and athletic person. I've done triathlons, marathons. I was a gymnast in high school and college. So I've always been really physically strong and active. But after surgery, it wasn't there. I'd get up in the morning and be like, nah. Ran into Don, who I hadn't seen in a while. He's a neighbor of mine, but I just don't see him that often. And he told me about Tri-Synergizer, or actually NRF2. And shortly after that, I looked into it and started taking the Tri-Synergizer. Now, I've always been aware of my body, and I noticed within the first month, just slight differences. I'd wake up in the morning and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go. After 3 months, though, I noticed a big difference. My energy levels were good. I was getting out there and just doing stuff that I'd done 10 years prior to this, physical activity. And so it was really working for me. And then, interestingly enough, 2 years after the surgery, they constantly monitor you after you have a cancer surgery, and the blood test showed that it was coming back. And they said, well, we're going to have to do radiation and hormone therapy to knock down the cancer and get rid of what's there. So right before is when I was down in Salt Lake City, and I got involved with the collagen introduction, and I started taking collagen. That was in May, and in June, and from June on, I was taking the collagen. July through end of September, for 8 weeks, every day, 5 days a week, I was under radiation treatment, and I was taking the collagen at the time. Fortunately, my oncologist was open-minded enough, and she said, if there's any reaction, stop. I kept taking it and got through my radiation treatments. Anytime you go through radiation treatment, it affects you. Now, what was interesting, I got through the 8 weeks of it, the hormone treatments and the radiation. 2 weeks afterwards, I'm at a dentist getting my annual cleaning. The hygienist, who was oh, I keep messing up. Don, help me out. It's what's a skincare person? Not
Esthetician.
Esthetician?
an anesthetist who had previously been an anesthetist. Now, of course, they know your medical record, and she's staring in my face, cleaning my teeth. She's looking at my skin. She goes, "You just went through 8 weeks of radiation?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Your skin is incredible." She goes, "Usually people that go through that much radiation, their skin is pale and just dry looking. It doesn't look healthy." She goes, "Your face looks great." And I said, "Well, thank you." And it was really interesting because I knew that I could feel good, I was feeling good with taking it, but to have someone who's a professional say, "Wow, your skin is fantastic," after all of that. So it's helped me through, again, we can't say it's a cure, but it's helped me through all my treatments. And it's allowed me to maintain good energy levels. And I'll do one other quick one. My daughter's corgi had degenerative myelopathy. It's another interesting name. It's like ALS for dogs. And he was starting to lose the control in his back hips. It did require surgery to correct it. But at the time, she was here for the summer, and along with my dogs, her dog was taking pet tandem. So he went into this surgery taking pet tandem, and we had him for 16 weeks because he couldn't go back. My daughter lives on the West Coast. He couldn't go with her because the surgery required rest and recuperation. And the vet commented at the end of the 16 weeks before my daughter took him back, he did a full checkup on him again. He said he's never seen any dog heal as quickly and as completely from this surgery. It's major back surgery. And the dog's running around like a puppy again. So pet tandem has helped my family. Tri-Synergizer and collagen has helped me.
Celebrating Captain Jack. This is huge, 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 huge. And you hear it over and over. I was listening to Tony Robbins' book for the 3rd time again this past week. And when you see the stuff from the outside, Jack, and we all know it, good stuff is happening on the good side or on the inside.
Yeah.
So love you to pieces. So happy for you. Continued prayers for you and everybody here for complete vitality. And I know we're 3 minutes over, so we're going to close this up, but I want to pass this over to Miss Marisa Maggio Harrison, who has a dear friend here as well. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jack.
Well, she just had to go. So
I'm sorry.
Brand new, just joined today, and started on Axio and started really noticing the difference with attention and focus, even with her children. And she's a massage therapist. She's also an emotional release yoga instructor. And she has an online presence. She's really wonderful. She just started the collagen in Nerf 2 last month. She hasn't even been on it a month. And she told me today that her shoulder, that she gets all this shoulder pain from massaging, has gone away. She just feels really good and she's very excited. She was on this call tonight. She had to go, had a little bit of a family emergency happen just now. So she popped off right about 3 minutes ago, but you'll get to meet her. Her name's Teresa Porter.
Amazing. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Well, we're going to wrap up mid-February team meeting here. Just want to say again, thank you all for taking time out, and especially anybody new. Welcome to LifeVantage. Welcome to One Person Big Difference. You guys are in for a treat. Next Monday night, we're going to have Jill Pearson. Come on, Master Pro 10 Jill Pearson teach you guys. And then we're going to wrap up the end of the month with the transition into the enhanced comp plan. We're going to do a 30-minute overview of all the amazing things that are coming up March 1st for you guys. So look forward to closing out the month. Let's get you guys to the next tier for the personal sales bonuses for the bonus club. If you're a platinum, let's get you to diamond, or not platinum. I don't know why this is platinum. If you are a sapphire, let's get you up to the next level. If you're an onyx, let's get you up to the next level. If you're a diamond, let's get you into the range of the guardian of the universe. So with that, we'll wrap it up, and you guys have an amazing week.
How was this for these great? I know we could all talk all night long, right? So use this information, write people's names down, digest the things that have been happening, and text and call people. Oh my gosh, I just got off of this incredible call and you've got to hear this story. This is what was just said. You guys, we have a mission and a purpose here, and let's just go big, big, big. All right. Love you all. Again, love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Peace and love. We're here for you. Love you.